Tessa and I are co-founders of NOST, a loungewear label made sustainably by heritage craft artisans.
Felicia runs a design studio called Quarters Architects that explores the creation of experiences within art and architecture.
Tessa is a community development worker at an NGO called Mercy Centre, working with the homeless and marginalised communities.
Design comes alive when it serves a purpose and addresses real human needs. So we ask ourselves often, what do we each bring to the table?
Since both of us are architects by training, it shapes how we see cities and approach the creative process. An architect draws plans as one seeing from above, akin to an aerial view. But every good building is experienced fully from the ground up and from the inside out. The National Gallery is a building that preserves heritage in a way that is relevant to us today. Adaptive reuse by conserving buildings instead of demolishing them is sustainable as it reduces carbon footprint. Light filters gently through the reflective pool, lowering the temperature and creating an immersive moment of pause.
For a space to work well, it must be designed with real people in mind. People who feel the warmth of sunlight, who hear footsteps on gravel, who grasp the textures of a handrail. Space envelopes us. Similarly, we see clothing not as disposable fashion, but as something we inhabit. How can clothing become a comfortable second skin that eases our daily routines?
From a glance, it is easy to write Singapore off as a commercial metropolis filled with skyscrapers. But the grittier underbelly of shophouse alleys, with delicious hawker fare, and tables in Chinatown where uncles play chess late into the night, tell different stories.
Our studio is located in the Chinatown Keong Saik neighborhood, a cultural melting pot of historic shophouses and modern buildings.
5 footways reduce the scale of the city into an intimate passage of rhythmic arches.
They are tailor-made for humans. We can interact with shops, look inside, and appreciate the details. We love living in a city of contrasts, where multiple diverse perspectives are woven into an eclectic tapestry. A lot of my work takes place in Arab Street, a place where migrants have become neighbors, and in the case of Alborz Carpets, my friends. Among the colorful carpets, the owners explain the differences between machine-made and hand-tufted rugs.
It reminds us of the artisan families we met in Indonesia and India, each of them elbow deep in their craft. What really inspires us is seeing people at work, whether it's a weaver on his step loom or a batik artisan applying steaming wax. We respect the dedication that goes into honing a craft through the generations, from grandfather to father to son.
The slow pace of handcrafting reminds us that design is a journey enriched by exploration and seeming detours. It's okay to slow down and find rest.
During my free time, I like to attend creative workshops where I learn something new. Tea Chapter at Neil Road is a space where I slow down and soak in the sights and smells of tea brewing. Having downtime allows me to come back to the drawing board with fresh perspectives. The textures of architectural facades are a constant muse. Our modular print robe was inspired by the eye-catching facets of the Concourse.
Tropical facades are designed not just for aesthetics, but also provide shade and ventilation, reducing the need for artificial cooling. In fashion, we ask the same question: How can we make use of the limited resources we have to produce something beautiful that doesn't harm the earth? Many of our artisans come from agricultural communities, where rivers are often polluted by the use of toxic dyes. We need to rethink the broken ecosystem of fashion.
Like every ecosystem, the needs are vast and competing. We need to sit down and sift through which values are foremost for us. The home is the main space where these conversations are fostered, at the table with fellow creatives.
NOST comes from nostalgia, which means a longing for home. We create pieces that people feel at home in, wherever they are.